Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna. Welcome you all. Thanks for joining Bhagavatam class. So let's do prayer. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. Hare Krishna. So continue from Canto number 3. Last week we didn't have a class because of Devkinandan Prabhuji, he was here. So we skipped and we were talking about all the questions asked by Vidura. And Vidura wants to know more details. Initially his questions was to know about what happened in Indraprasth, Kurukshetra and all the different details, right? And then when he met the Maitreya Muni, he was asking the different questions which is more relevant to, so most of the time for us also, right? We want to know how this entire creation happens, who created, who was behind this entire force, right? And this chapter gives entire detail actually. Prabhupada tried to give each and every details of including from the individual atom, and atom creates what, that much of details he is providing here as part of the creation thing. So the question asked is in the chapter of, in the previous chapter number 8 and okay, chapter number 7 he was asking the all the questions, and the chapter number 8 we come to know that the Brahma, he was created by who? Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So we discuss about in the Canto 2 okay, what are the different type of the Vishnus are there, right? Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, so different the Vishnus, and part of that one now he wants to know that how the Brahma, we call Brahma as a creator, right? But Brahma now he is saying that no, I am not the creator, I am just a executor, which the instructions I got it from the Vishnu. Is very important to know, because before coming to the our Krishna consciousness or this Bhagavatam reading practice, we all says that who is the creator, who is the destroyer. But this chapter will give very good details about the kala, the timing of the duration. And now the timing also, we know that our Kali Yuga still have 400, some 32,000, some number of years is still left in the Kali Yuga. So now the question you should ask yourself, who is defining this time? Right? If Brahma is the creator and he is doing everything, he is managing, but at the same time he was taking the instructions and all the timing is controlled by Vishnu. That's that much of detail. But today we are planning to at least touch on some of the creation part and the different energies and what he did and what are the executions part of the Brahma in the chapter number 9, 10, and if possible we will touch on the 11 also. So we are not going to read each and every shlokas, but I am going to give some very high level what the Brahma is thinking, right? So with that, let's get started. It's a lot of detail. I have a lot of notes also from these chapters, but I would say and encourage everyone, because it's very, very difficult to capture everything like reading from the Srila Prabhupada. But if you read by yourself, then you will get more details. That is the essence of the Bhagavatam, right? So what we will do today is we are going to touched on most of the areas. So let's get started from, I'm pulling my notes so that I can see your faces, lotus faces, and at the same time I will see my notes. So here, my question. How big was that lotus flower where Brahma was sitting? Just imagine how big it is. We know that Brahma is sitting at the lotus flower, right? I didn't know that until I read this detail of the Prabhupada. Can you guess? Anyone? Is it 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 2 miles, 500 miles big?
I think it was yojanas, right? Some yojanas.
Yeah, that's more technical, but if you can say, okay, yeah, it's like a 200 miles, that big, and he was sitting at the center.
Football fields.
No, I know you don't know the exact answer, but just imagine how big, how the creations Vishnu is doing. This is is beyond our imagination, actually, right? How big lotus flower you saw here? Anytime? 3 inch, 4 inch, maximum like a 10 inch, that big of the lotus flower. But here we are talking about the lotus flower which is expanded across that universe. He was sitting on top of that, and that lotus flower is coming from the navel of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. If you just close your eyes and imagine that someone is sleeping and some flower stem is coming, and that entire flower is the lotus flower where Vishnu is sitting there. And now he is in the couple of chapter back, if you remember that, after his many years of penances and the meditation, Vishnu was so happy that he start giving him energy, and the mercy was coming to the Brahma, and now he starts seeing the entire planets, entire universe, including the Narayan himself. He was able to see him. Is all because of his that meditation, what he did, correct? So once he did that one, then Narayan appeared, and he start giving him the instruction that what you should do. So the Brahma says, oh, my Lord, you are the only knowable object because there is nothing supreme beyond you. So now in this chapter name itself is called that, the chapter number 9, Brahma prayer for creative energies. So whenever we praise anyone, what we will do usually? We will bring all his good qualities, right? Okay, you are the supreme, you are the full source of energy, beyond you nothing could be possible. So these kind of very beautiful prayers Brahma was keep on talking about, that okay, now I can see you, now I can know that you are the beyond you, there is no one is equal to you, no one beyond than you. That kind of prayer he was start telling. And once he start giving this one, and the part of the prayer, he was also saying that person who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of the Vedic sound through the wholes of the year, except your devotional service, from them you are never separated from the lotus of their heart. So these are some of the prayers. I am going to touch on some of them. These are the one. But now the prayer itself, it says that the person who will take the shelter of your lotus feet is always, you make them, because this experience, how the Brahma is getting this one, because he did many hundreds of years of the tapasya. After that one, that realization is coming that whoever is thinking that you are always at the lotus feet of the Vishnu, as the Narayan or the Hari or the Krishna, then you always make that person that you are always next to him from the feeling within the heart, right? This is very nicely explained by Prabhupada and the Brahma in the saying that we always, what is learning for us is, whenever we go to the temple, whenever we see the Mahatma, whenever we see any temple, our intention is, please accept me at your lotus feet. When you start thinking that in that mood, right, then Krishna is not far behind, Narayan is not far behind. He always make you that feeling that he is standing next to you. And Brahma says that the devotee can see you through the ears. What do you mean by ears? How he can see the Narayan by ears? That is one of the prayers. Anyone?
By listening to the glories.
Listening to the glories by bona fide people. And hearing is the only one source. And he was talking about the five senses. Because this question, what Vidura is asking is, I want to know entire detail of the creations. How the creation happened. The Brahma got it, we found it. Okay, Brahma is there and sitting at the lotus flower. And after that, how he start creating, what he was start thinking, that what I should do now. Right? So, when he was start creating, how he plan, like typical, if you build any house, you cannot like start bringing the bricks and start laying on the bricks, right? What we will do is, we will put the blueprint. Okay, my kitchen is going to be here, this is going to be here, and my bedroom is there, my stair, everything you will see on the paper that this is my layout. So what Brahma did? Brahma, once he starts seeing that huge lotus flower, then that the lotus flower, you know that when you open the lotus flower, is like a circle, right? Inside is you are keep on swirl, like it's going inside. He get into that lotus flower. Now he start thinking that this entire universe, as we know in from Canto 2, this entire planetary portion, the Virat Rupa of the Lord is split into how many portions? You know that? Anyone know? We learned that one there. It's split. Above the navel is a 7, below the navel is 7. So total 14. So initially Brahma, what he did is, he did the three main creation. He says that, okay, let me split this entire Virat Rupa in three parts. What are the three parts? Anyone? Look like I have to revisit and ask you, give some questions every week, 10 questions, because you are trying to forget, or maybe you are not reading anything. So what are the three? Just forget about the Brahma. What are the three portion, this entire planetary portion in the three main area? Anyone?
The hell.
Good that we remember hell first. Okay, yeah, hell. Yeah, Patal Lok. Patal Lok, that is the Patal.
Bhuloka and the Swargaloka.
Bhuloka and Swargaloka. I think good. I think Prabhuji, you exactly pinpoint how it's written in the book. I don't know, you quickly searched it. But that's how it's written in the book also. Right? So, Patal Lok. So, the three portions of Brahma, first split it into the three. Right? And then further he splitted these portions into the multiple different layers. So, but these three are our main categories. That our above loka, which is our Swarga loka, where he again further divided into the different category, but at least we should know there is a Swarga lok, our Bhulok, or which is called as also Prithvi lok, right? And the Patal lok. Patal lok again further divided into many different pieces, but he categorized into the three areas based on the three modes also. Right? We hope we remember what are the three modes. So goodness, passion and ignorance. And in the beginning, he created which loka? Just guess.
Satyam.
Satyalok, on the above. He start creating all the demigods. So that once he start creating the demigods, then he start giving the executions part into them also. Right? When the demigod is Indra, Chandra, Surya, all these different demigods will start coming up, then he start delegating the work that, okay, you should be doing this. But then you know that the Manu created, and again he delegated more work to Manu. But at the beginning, when he start thinking, putting the blueprint, he did, okay, these are the three main category, again further into the 14 different category. From the Virat Roop, if you look into this, so from above navel is the 7 different areas, and below the below the navel there are 7 more areas. So in the first, let me read 1 or 2 shloka here, just a translation which is very important. And the shloka number 37, 38 and 39, Brahma says, "O Brahma, now after Brahma prays and he was doing all the prayer, Narayan becomes so happy that the way he was describing the Narayan's quality, and now the Vishnu is start talking about. He says, "O Brahma, situated yourself in the penance and meditate and follow the principle of knowledge to receive my favor. By these actions, you will able to understand everything from within your heart." So that Prabhupada in the further he says that all these instructions is already given to Brahma by the Vishnu himself, that what and how he should be executing when the creations of this happens. Then Lord and Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and the Vishnu again says, "O Brahma, the prayer that you have chanted, praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penances and you have undertaken to understand me and your firm faith in me, all these are considered my costless mercy." So again, what we learn from here? So we should not be hesitant to praise Lord and His pure devotees, Uttam Adhikari. Whenever we will see them, we should pray them. Because Brahma is one of them. Definitely Brahma is not going to come in front of us. But whenever we will see our senior acharyas, senior Uttam Adhikari, our Maharaj, and when we go to the temple, we should always praise them. This is what is the learning for us. We never ever, whenever we will go there and see the Acharya, whatever the good quality you know about that personality, maybe we cannot sometimes hesitate to say in front of him, but sometimes like Devgi Prabhuji came and recently, we all reading that what achievement he did. It pleased him because in last 46, 47 years, he did from his age 17 till now, he did lot of work, and again he is doing now. And I was with him in the car when I was dropping into the temple. I think most of you have the same experience. He was talking to the other devotees in Bihar, Uttarakhand, what is going on. It's the morning time for him. There are a lot of tasks he wants to get done before go to the sleep. You see? So this is just learning from Brahma and what he's praising to the Lord Vishnu. What is the learning point for us? How we can praise our senior Acharya, our Uttam Adhikari or Guru Maharaj, whoever the personality, whoever helping Srila Prabhupada, we should praise them. That's what the Brahma is very clearly mentioned that one. Again, in one of the shlokas says, "I am very much pleased by your description of me in the terms of my transcendental qualities." Vishnu already know that one, what is his quality. but someone prays many, many times, he will be more pleased. So we are not different, right? Brahma is also in the material world. He is not from the spiritual world. He is in the material world. He has some expiry date. He has to come here, take all the mercy of the Lord. Creations has been done, and after certain time, which in the next chapter, Vishnu very clearly mentioned that each and every second is controlled by me, not by Brahma or anyone. As in the Bhagavatam also says that Kali Yuga is again 432,000, whatever that limit, the time we have is controlled by Vishnu, is not by Brahma. So now what is the learning from the chapter 9 is we should do the prayer. We should learn how we can praise other acharyas. And any human who pray like a Brahma and who thus worship me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of his all desire, for I am the Lord of all benedictions. These are the direct word of Lord Vishnu. This is not I am not reading the purport now. These are all the translation which is the Vishnu is talking about Brahma. If any human being, if he prays like Brahma, right? And the Lord says that I am the super soul of every individual. I am the supreme director and the dearest. People are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle bodies, but they should be attached to me only. We heard so many times. Now we are directly learning from the Bhagavatam. It's clearly mentioned in the Canto 3, chapter number 9. Vishnu himself and the Prabhupada repeated, and he gave some of the reference of the Jiva Goswami purport in this one. We should always thinking that super soul is always inside in every individual. But so now in the chapter 9, as a summary, Brahma is a start praying and the Vishnu becomes so pleased by his prayer. This is the summary of the chapter 9. And we learn how to praise others, how to praise our acharyas. Because when we praise, as I gave so many time example, we should not miss the opportunity when we will get any chance to praise the devotee of Prabhupada or senior acharya. This is one of the best thing we should be doing it. Sometimes if you cannot speak in the front, at least in the mind says that this devotee is so nice, he did so many things. Like our Guru Maharaj left few months back, we still seeing the so many glorifications in the one or other way, in the so many videos, that his achievement is immeasurable. We cannot measure it. But in the last more than 50 years, the things what he did, and he touched so many souls. Is not one or thousand, many people. Is not, that doesn't mean that person is got initiated. But without initiation also so many people touched by the Guru Maharaj, by his mercy, right? Similarly, Prabhupada did the same thing. Wherever he visits, so many people he met. It doesn't mean that he initiated everyone, but he touched in their life one way or other way. So similarly, we should take that advantage and always praise these elevated super souls, our Jivatma, our Maharaj, right? We still, because one of the book, Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, is so nice that it will clarify all your questions, all the doubts. So we should learn that. Yes, Sachintya Prabhu, you have question?
No, just an observation. Yesterday we had the Rath Yatra in Philadelphia. So we had Malti Mataji
Yeah.
there. So maximum people did not know about her. So it gave us a chance to talk about her.
Yeah.
And even introduce some of the people who are not aware
Yeah.
of her.
You know, yeah, and her contribution, if you really know from the day, is mentioned, I think somewhere I heard about in the Lila Amrit, Srila Prabhupada. There are few of the, Prabhupada says that these are my soldiers, like Malti Devi Dasi, Yamuna Devi Dasi, and I have one of the book of Yamuna Devi Dasi also. Kind of contribution she did, not only for the preaching, building the Prabhupada temple also. These are, like we will say, these are only Mataji, how they can do it. But Yamuna Devi Dasi, when I was reading her book, when the construction of our Krishna Balram temple, their contribution is like, it's not like the thinking that, okay, you doesn't belong to India, you don't know Hindi, and you are in the Vrindavan, in the Braj Bhumi, and you have to make the workers to do as per their blueprint. Okay, this construction is going on, material is not on the time, and she is chasing everyone, right? And the people who are working, they don't know English, and she doesn't know much Hindi, and she is still taking that responsibility to building. Now we are seeing the Krishna Balram temple is so beautiful. Behind the scene, we need to understand who did the contribution. There are many devotees of Srila Prabhupada. They spend day and night to build that one. Recently, I come to know actually. I thought, okay, Prabhupada and thing, right?
And in fact, Malti Mataji was the person who got the Jagannath.
The deities into the US first time, and she purchased from some theft store. Yeah. And she purchased only one Jagannath. Then Prabhupada asked, do you have these other two also? She went and purchased other one also. So that's how they got it. I think that's I story heard before. Yeah.
Yeah, last year when we went to New Vrindavan, she gave us 1 hour of her time.
Yeah.
And she was, in fact, given an action showing how she picked it up.
Yeah. No, she didn't know that they are Balram Jagannath, right? This looks very nice, more attractive, and she took only the one, not all three. Maybe the cost issue was there or something, but she only
No, she didn't pay. She
Yeah.
just picked it up.
picked it up, right? So, yeah.
And then she went back and took the other two also.
Yeah. When Prabhupada asked, okay, do you see any other two there? Yeah. So there are a lot of stories. It's good to know, and we should read their books, and they mention. And the Lila Amrit is one of the best book. I again recommend, if you didn't have it, please purchase. If you want to borrow, I have one. So we should read how much of the struggle Prabhupada did to bring this knowledge to us. Prabhupada mentioned in his lecture also, few times actually, I spent so much of time, and you are mudhas, foolish people, you are not taking, you like making use of this book. I spent day and night to writing these books, right?
In fact, Philadelphia Temple every Thursday from 7 to 8, Vishnu Gadadhar Prabhu, who is the disciple of Prabhupada,
Yeah.
he takes this class of Lila Amrita
Lila
and gives his personal thoughts
Yeah.
also.
Right. Yeah. No, that's good. And we should take the time. We should read. And after that, if you want to read more from his servant, Sutta Kriti Prabhu, so you should read the book called What is the Difficulties? It's very nicely, in a comedy way, he wrote so many details, that how he was used to do massage. When I first saw the Prabhupada, I was in restroom, and Prabhupada entered and he opened the door, and okay, what you're doing here, kind of thing. So it's a very nicely explained book, What is the Difficulties, by Sutta Kriti Prabhu. I have it. If you want to borrow, I read I think twice, but please use of that one. You will get more detail about the Prabhupada activities from the servant. He was servant from 3 years, I think 71, 72, 73. So 3 years he did, but yeah, it's good. So let's move on to chapter number 10, where now the division of the creation, the chapter name. In the 10, then Vidura again asks, O great sages, which is he's asking to Maitreya Muni, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, created the bodies of the living entity from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the previous chapter, the last shloka of the thing, after Brahma prays, Vishnu becomes so happy, he gave that, okay, whoever do and remember and praise me, I will be more happy. And after that he left. Then he disappeared, and the Brahma is by himself. And now, again the question, we need to connect from the Bhagavad Gita. When I was reading, do you think that the Brahma created the soul? No. Yeah. Because we read in the chapter number 2, soul is never perish. You cannot cut, you cannot burn, and everything. After the annihilation, all the souls are sitting there everything is available and ready. He has to just execute the plan. So the souls were there, but each soul is still carrying their own, the previous part of the life. And some soul maybe live in the Swarg Loka or Indra Loka, in the spiritual planet, based on their past karma. So now what is our learning from this? Won't the annihilation happen? Hopefully we all should not go that far for 400,000 years until the annihilation. Maybe between that, Krishna will be so happy that okay, this person should not take birth and death, and he will call us to the Vaikuntha Loka or the Goloka. But unfortunately, accidentally, we reached to that annihilation, and we were there as part of that creation, and Brahma is picking our soul. Just imagine that he is evaluating based on your past activities. Oh, you should go to the Patal Loka, you should go to the Bhuloka Loka, with the human form versus the different species. And we will come to know in the chapter number, end of the chapter 10 and the 11, that how he is picking the soul and giving the bodies based on the three modes. Which mode you were in.
So,
Right.
Prabhuji, would not that be after we leave our body in this lifetime?
Yeah,
That evaluation?
yeah, correct. Yeah, this is the new annihilation. After the annihilation, we will be there for the entire night under the ocean. That's the mention in the previous chapter. And the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu is lifting everything up, and then we will see the lotus flower. And now, just thinking, I was thinking that if, like, because we were there, that's why we are sitting here. And Brahma chose us to go to the different bodies, getting into the different bodies, and he is saying that he picked the bodies based on 9 different creations. So the 3 creations what he did, the first, there are the 9 different creations, beside one was naturally occurred due to the interactions of the modes. And Brahma first created, as I mentioned, the 3 different categories. Okay, the first is our Swarg Loka, Indra, and all the demigods will be in that planet. They are still part of the material world, but this is heavenly planets. So the second is, in that heavenly planets, we have the Pitra Loka also. And all our Pitra, all our Purvaj or forefathers, grandfathers, they might went there. We were thinking. Hopefully they went there and they stay there for many years. And after that, they will come back and get their bodies based on their past activities. But Bhuloka is the one where we are coming here. Right? Bhuloka, we need to just focus on our Bhuloka thing. So upper planet is also categorized into the Mahar Loka, Tapa Loka, Satya Loka, Brahma Loka. There are many different lokas are there again. As I mentioned, he split it into the 14 category, right? But the Bhuloka is the one which we need to focus. And when we come into this Bhuloka, then again he decided that based on the different modes. And initially he created only the goodness. He thought, okay, everything is goodness. Some is in the very good people or the bad people. Bad people is the ignorance people who are always, he categorized. I will read some of them. It's very nicely, but I would like, please read this one. He defined the people with like a cow. The hoofs are there, right? Cow, buffalo, camel. These are the one category of the species he start creating. And the another category of the animal, these are all are in the ignorance mode, because they don't have intelligence, they don't have that knowledge which they can utilize. Only the people like a human is the only species he created who can get the intelligence. And he also mentioned that in the ignorance, the people with the 5 nails, like a dog, tiger, and these, they have the nails, right? But the cow, camel, buffalo, they have hoofs. They don't have the 5 nails. So that much of the detail he was categorizing. So now, when he was creating the creations of this entire thing based on the passion, not the passion, goodness, and in the ignorance mode, he created, divided into the 9 creations. The first one was Mahatattva. The second was, I'm just reading the name because it is split across the 10 or 12 shlokas. Just I make it as a note so that it will be easy. is starting from chapter number 10, shloka number 15, and then it will go towards 23 or 24. But I will read. I don't recommend like you have to remember each one of them. At least we should know the three categories. The main category, and the Bhuloka is the one we have the 9 creations. And so one was the Mahatattva. Second is the false ego. Third, based on the sense perceptions. So the people or the animal who are only based on their sense, a smell, they will survive like animals, lion, tiger. They don't have intelligence. They are only using only 1 or 2 senses, just a nose, right? So they cannot, like us, we can hear from the eyes and see the out of the 5 senses. Some of them are only sense perceptions. And the creations of the knowledge, this is the one part of the creations which human got it. Controlling the deity's mode of the goodness, which are categorized as a devta. Sur and asur, right? Sur is the demigods. So one of the creations they did in the material world is the in the mode of goodness, which is controlling all the demigods. And the number in the controlling this deities is also mentioned that the ignorance are the asuras, where they don't have knowledge, avidya people. They are always doing their based on their own sense gratification thing. These creations categorized in the human also. Some of us, like before in the Krishna consciousness, we are only thinking about eat, sleep, marry, and have more children, right? So these are the only category. We are never intention of having or getting the knowledge. And the other one creation is, the 7th one is immovable entities. What are the immovable entities? Anyone?
The stone, all this stuff, no?
Entities,
Okay.
which has life.
Tree.
Trees, fruits, plants. That is the one category. These 9 creation, this is another category he created, and who has like fruits, trees, flowers, plants, those. And the 8th one category is the lower species. They are the different varieties, numbering from again further divided into 28 categories. They are all extensively foolish and ignorant. They know they are desirable by smell. They are unable to remember anything within their heart. So who are these people? These are animals. But some of the human beings are also behaving like the same way. We know that, right? We saw in our world also. People they are foolish, extensively foolish. Actually, I wrote, this is some of the purport note from the Prabhupada. Extensive, foolish, and ignorant people. So these are the 9th one is the passionate mode. After the creation of the goodness and ignorance, the one side of very good with the Vidya and Sur and the demigod, and another part is he created the ignorant people, or it could be animal. So in that category, in this different category, if you read the Prabhupada purport, he was mentioning about the birds are fall into the one of them, cows and animals who are walking on this planet different, and the animal who eat the meat in the different category. So these are the main 9 category, and further is created ignorant people on the 28 further categories. So the last one is our passionate people. Passionate is initially categorized as for the human being, because we are always, most of the time we are in passionate. We want to enjoy, and sometimes we are in the goodness, sometimes in the ignorance, but we are in the middle of passionate. Always wants in that mode. But as a devotee, for us, all of us, what is the recommendation? Again, what is the learning for us is how we can make ourselves in the goodness mode. The goodness is the thinking like all the demigods, the thinking like in the mode of what in the previous chapter Vishnu was saying, always remembering and the praising me, always thinking of me. We read in the Bhagavad Gita also, right? Man mana mad mad bhakto. That 4 steps we need to perform all the time. Then we always remember and feel that Krishna is always within my heart. So these are the 9 categories. So the summary of the chapter, previous chapter and this chapter is the Brahma creations happen and now he is putting the blueprint. I want to do this versus this, and further in the Prabhupada we will come to know, and in the further chapters also, when the Manu was created, Prajapatis was created, they are in the higher planets in the mode of goodness. But in there also, he further divided that some of the demigods are, because their tendency to enjoy more, they also produce the asuras. Asura is not the first creations. Asura came because of the mental consciousness by these different entities. We will come to know in the some of the cantos how these asura created. Any questions? This is the summary of 2, but we will jump into chapter number 3, which is chapter 11. Chapter 11 is more further detail about the atoms, each one of the atoms and how he created. But let's, before going to 11, one question. Achintya Prabhu.
Prabhuji, when we are talking about the soul, which cannot be destroyed or created, etc., so do we say that the number remains the same as always from
Yeah,
the very beginning?
yeah, correct. Soul never be destroyed. That's correct. Yeah, based on the Bhagavad Gita, you cannot burn, you cannot cut, it never be destroyed, it's never be perishable. Krishna says this one. So I said, whatever the numbers, if it is in the beginning of the creation, it was 1,000, at the annihilation, it will remain the 1,000.
So it's just distributed in different parts of the entire creation.
Based on the modes of creations, yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So now the chapter number 11, I am not going to read any summary also, because there's a lot of technical details about the chapter 11 is about the individual atoms. How the one atom become two atom become three atom, and these are all technical. Prabhupada didn't mention much of that one, and if needed, I can summarize again. But at the same time, if you read and come back with the question, then maybe we can discuss. That will be, oh Prabhuji, I didn't understood these 5 atoms or this atom, because these are, I do have few notes, but I would say that if you can read, that will be helpful. Right? And it's very, a lot of details about the individual things. It's also mentioning about, in the chapter 11, this kala and the time, different yugas, Satya Yuga how many years, Treta Yuga how many years. It says that the Kali Yuga is 432 years, Dwapar Yuga become the double of that one, 864,000 years. Treta Yuga become the double of, almost double, is 1.2 million years. Satya Yuga become 1.728 million years, and one Chatur Yuga total is 4.3 million years. If you look into those numbers, it's there. So our overall one yuga cycle is that which is called as Chatur Yuga is 4.32 million years. So Kali Yuga is 432 and overall yuga Chatur Yuga is 4.32 millions. So it's giving this one, and also it's mentioning about the sun, how it's rotate, how he is giving the energies, one cycle, and all the month wise number, we know that, right? Month has 60 days, 30 days, 1 year has 65 days. Everything is coming from this chapter. People will ask, okay, who decided this one? Bhagavatam is already mentioned these details, right? And his names are also mentioned there one. If you really want to remember, I would recommend, but if you really want to remember these different Vedic times and kalas, Chatur year, that year, how many yoga, then definitely please go ahead and make a note. And is also mentioning the Manus, how many year of the Manus is already defined. What are the years of Manu? And when this one kalpa will be finalized, what is the lifespan of the Brahma? So these are all the times is mentioned. Okay, Achintya Prabhu, you raise your hand. You have a question?
Another, just stretching our imagination. So basically, he's talking about our creation, our Brahma. So this is replicated across millions of Brahmas. Same thing.
Answer is yes and no also. The reason is where one place I read, each universe creations happen the same time, but the duration is maybe different. Brahma has the 4 head, maybe as a 1 head or 2 head, or maybe the 1,000 heads in the different universe. It's possible, but it's not mentioned in this chapter. But somewhere I heard, I think somewhere lecture or somewhere, that we know that there are infinite universes are there, and each infinite universe there is a one creator which is called as Brahma, and Brahma is execution's duties are maybe different. But I was thinking the same. Is that the Dwapar Yuga? Every time Krishna come in Dwapar Yuga? No. He can come as himself in the Satya Yuga also. Sometimes he is coming in the Treta Yuga as a Krishna. So it is depend. His choice is Krishna's, where he want based on all the circumstances. But in right now, possible somewhere it's